Welcome, January. This is a fabulous month with lots going on. Let's talk about pagan holidays, and there are quite a few. I also want to talk about some self reflection practices, spells to cast out negative energy, and start the year with a positive aura. And we'll touch on some great herbs and crystals to work with this month. So, Happy New Year! Welcome to my channel. I'm so glad you're here. I'm Amy, a lifelong eclectic pagan and green witch, and your guide for today's journey. Let's begin with Janus, the Roman god of beginnings and endings. He also represents the year's transitions from one season to another. He is depicted in art with two faces, one facing forward and one facing back. Fun fact, we often think the month January is named after the god Janus, but there is some evidence it may be named after the goddess Juno. Janus was the god of gates and doors. The ancient Romans had a specific god who held the key, so to speak, to the metaphorical doors or gateways between what was and what is to come, the liminal space of transitioning out of one period of time and into something new. Janus is a good choice when you have changes coming up. You can set up a dedicated altar for Janus if you have a big transition you want to focus on. He appreciates offerings of dried bay laurel leaves, roasted lamb, wine, and pastries. Greet the morning by honoring Janus. Make an offering of a pastry or roll and say, Janus, I lift this food to you and put myself in your hands. I honor you at the beginning of this day and ask that you may favor me, or something that meets your current needs. Another popular way to celebrate Janus is to eat a bowl of lentils on New Year's Day. This tradition symbolizes how life begins anew in the new year and also represents prosperity for the coming months ahead. Write down what you want to attract in the new year on one half of a piece of paper and what you want to let go on the other. Light a black candle and safely burn the let go half. Place the attract half on your altar. A time of growth, beginnings, and attraction. The first quarter or waxing moon is often seen as a favorable time for spells and rituals. She will appear on January 6th. Start by purifying yourself and your living space with smudging or by sprinkling salt or moon water around your home. This ritual is meant to rid the space of negativity and prepare for the new moon's fresh start. I grow and dry a number of herbs for smudging. Grow herbs that relate to your culture or ones that appeal to your patron deities. Waxing moon is all about increasing energy. This is a great time to focus on prosperity, abundance, and attraction. After you have cleansed your space, take some time to write down your goals and desires. Then go outside and stand and read the list aloud. Leave the list outside to charge with moon energy, or inside on a windowsill. Then place the list on your altar. A waxing moon spell for prosperity. You will need 5 candles. A white candle in the center for yourself, then place the following colors at the 4 corners on your altar or a table. Green at north for finances, yellow at east for intellect, red in the south for passion, gold in the west for confidence. If you are unsure of the directions you can use a compass or a compass app for your phone. In the center of your altar, place a shiny penny to represent wealth. Light each candle and say, East, South, West, North, prosperity bring forth. Under the waxing moon's growing light, I call on the powers of the night. Face east and say, winds of the east, swift and clear, bringing new ideas and wealth near. With your breath my fortunes rise, lift my dreams into the skies. Turn and face south and say, fires of the south warm and bright, ignite abundance in your light. Flames of passion burn so strong, guide my path where riches belong. and face west and say, "Waters of the west, deep and wide, flow with blessings by my side. As your tides bring treasures to shore, let my life with prosperity soar." Again, face north and say, "Earth of the north, steady and true, grow my wealth like seeds renew. Ground my roots in fertile land, bring abundance to my hand. Waxing moon, your light shall grow. With each phase, my wealth will show. From east to north, from south to west, by your power, I am blessed." Photocress is a Rodnavari nature holiday in the midst of the cold days of January. Photocress celebrates the element of water. On this day, you are to wake up very early and go outside and bring in some water from a local creek or river. The water is blessed with herbs. People often go to lakes or rivers and have a ritual bath. After that, they gather some oak branches and bring them home to start a fire with. Perchta, also known as Birchta, is a fascinating figure from Alpine paganism, so those pagan beliefs that come from the Alps, embodying the dual nature of winter as a time of both harshness and transformation. Often depicted as a mysterious winter witch or goddess, she presides over the 12 nights of Yule. Visually, Perchta has a dual appearance that reflects her role as a goddess of balance and justice. In some tales, she appears as a radiant and kind figure, dressed in white robes, bringing prosperity and abundance to those who honor her. In others, she is a fearsome crone, wielding punishments for those who fail to respect her traditions. Perchta's lore is often tied to spinning and weaving, symbolizing the cycles of life and fate. She is believed to inspect households during the 12 nights, ensuring that spinning work has been completed and that homes are clean and orderly. In ancient times and today, the new year is a time to clean the house thoroughly, removing anything that might have accumulated over the past lunar cycle. This can include sweeping and dusting your home to clear out both physical and spiritual dirt. I have a new weekly date book out that contains over 100 pagan holidays and events. It also has some ideas on how to celebrate, available on Amazon in paperback and the website in a PDF. January 7th is one of the festivals for Isis, the Egyptian goddess of magic, motherhood, and protection. I have a video on her and how to know if she is calling to you that I will link below. Isis is a powerful goddess, not only in ancient Egypt, but she was also prevalent in Greek and Roman worlds. Pastries, honey, and fresh vegetables are some of her favorite offerings, and a nice glass of wine. We celebrate Carmenta, Roman goddess of prophecy, on the 11th. She is also credited with developing the Latin alphabet. Her name, Carmenta, means a magic spell, oracle, or song, and also the root of the English word charm. She was the goddess of childbirth and seems to have been predominantly worshipped by women. Carmenta's divine influence was that of prophecy and her ability to know all things. Practice whatever divination skills you are comfortable with and seek answers about the coming year. The full moon in January is called the wolf moon, and you can tell by my logo this is a favorite of mine. Native Americans often called January's full moon the wolf moon after hearing the howling of hungry wolves. Like the wolves, they were often cold and hungry during January. My people, the Cree, call this the cold moon. The Celts call this the quiet moon, which I find very relaxing and peaceful. This moon offers us protection and strength. It is seen as a time of transition, beginnings, and endings. This is a good time to charge water, crystals, and tools for magical rituals, and the time to expel negative energy. I have a video doing a spell on this, but you'll have to excuse my tics. Why Amy is not allowed on camera. Harness the full moon's energy to manifest desires such as love, career, success, or personal growth. Create a vision board or write a list of goals. Under the full moon, hold it close to your heart and state your intentions out loud. Morana is a Slavic goddess associated with death, rebirth, winter, dreams, and the harvest. Her death at the end of winter symbolizes the rebirth of spring. One of the main traditions that are tied to the celebration of this deity in Radnavari is burning or drowning an effigy of Morana to celebrate the end of winter. This is usually done at the end of winter more in March than in January. Check out the website blog on her for a deeper look. Morana's equivalents include Ceres in Roman mythology and Hecate in Greek mythology, is associated with crossroads and keys and communicating with the dead. Hecate is smart and powerful. January is an important time to think about crossroads. In ancient times, crossroads were seen as powerful liminal spaces where the veil between the world was thin, making them places where spirits could be encountered and where offerings to Hecate were made. Danu is a mother goddess in the Celtic and Irish traditions. She is the goddess of fertility, creation, water, and the land. We celebrate the day of Danu on January 18th. She commands rivers and helps humans find wells and springs. Try water scrying today. Water is very healing, and I find great benefit just by standing by the lake near my house, even in winter. On the 24th is the Norse heathen celebration honoring Thor, a midwinter feast. Thor, often portrayed carrying his hammer, is the god of thunder, lightning, and trees. He symbolizes strength, power, and protection of mankind. He was the people's god. Vikings ate a lot of foods that seem very unfamiliar to us. During this time of winter darkness, fresh food was scarce. Much of the food eaten was the undesirable body parts that had been preserved with fermented misa. Misa is a heavy whey that preserves and breaks down proteins to make the meats more tender. Have a feast. You can serve more contemporary Icelandic fare, such as smoked salmon, lamb, sausages, rye bread, eggs, sea fish, such as haddock and shrimp. If you are a vegetarian, they do have some interesting vegetables, such as seaweed, lovage, rhubarb, and crowberry. And of course, you need some mead. One of the great gifts from the Norse tradition is storytelling and poetry. Take some time this month to enjoy telling stories with your family and friends. This year, Sementiva falls on the 27th. During this time, we honor Roman goddess Tellus, the Earth Mother, and the goddess of agriculture Ceres. Sementiva is a grain oriented festival that celebrates the preparation of the fields for sowing. Small clay discs called asila were made with decorations. These were hung on the trees to ward off evil spirits. Young children can easily make these out of homemade Play Doh, or you can purchase some modeling clay. Diesablat is a Norse holiday that honors female deities. Female spirits of ancestors, the seer, Odin's Valkyries, or other women in your life are honored. Frigg Freya and Astera are often celebrated. The seer are female deities that dealt with fate, honored women ancestors, and were felt to guard the living. There is some ambiguity on the exact date of this holiday. Some scholars put it the beginning of winter, more in October, and some at the end. This holiday holds a great feast celebrating new beginnings. Offerings were made to female ancestors. Farmers asked for blessings for the future planting season. In preparation for the feast, small cakes were baked. These cakes were then placed in the furrows the plow made as an offering to Mother Earth. Now let's talk about some crystals that are associated with January. Garnet, for protection and grounding. It is the birthstone for January and holds the element of fire. We know it was popular among the Celts and Greeks. Persephone, goddess of springtime, is associated with garnets. To ensure Persephone would return, Hades gave her pomegranate seeds. The word garnet comes from the Latin word granatus, which means seed. This is why the crystal is associated with deep and otherworldly love. Garnet may help restore the strength of people who suffer from fatigue. Clear quartz is one of the more popular crystals. Clear quartz is a shield against negativity, gaining and helps you gain clarity and is good for intention setting. Use it during meditation and manifestation practices. Wear it as a necklace for balance and spiritual energy. Snowflake obsidian is not as common, but is a great crystal for January because it helps with balance and reflection during winter. Excellent for enhancing one's psychic abilities, especially that of past life recall. For herbs and plants, evergreen, of course, which symbolizes resilience and eternal life, specifically juniper for protection and purification. Birch represents new beginnings and fresh starts, and peppermint for energy and clarity. Even though it's cold, we still need to make connections with nature. Get outside, smell the coldness, or whatever the weather is where you are, and enjoy the quiet of the season. Wishing you a Happy New Year. I hope this video has given you some ideas on how to celebrate the month. Lots more info on the blog you can check out. Links below. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a very witchy day.